Hi, welcome to Knits Up. I'm Mindy, your hostess, otherwise known as Knitter CNY. You can find me on Ravelry and Instagram as Knitter CNY. That CNY stands for Central New York. I live in the Syracuse area, upstate, and it's always been part of my name. So if you like what you see in this video, please subscribe below and also hit the notification bell. And if you like what you see, hit the thumbs up too. I got a little bit of projects to show you, then I have some yarn to show you, and an idea for an advent calendar on the cheap. So this week I've been working on two projects, one of which I think we showed the back last weekend. It's the back of a cardigan. And then this week I finished not only one front, I think I had started working on this front last week, but I finished the second front as well. They look like really not, actually this is a sleeve, sorry. I finished the other front and this is a sleeve. And I've started working on another sleeve. So I'm getting there with the cardigan. I'm trying to get this done in a month. So we're working on that. I'm going to just kind of set that over here. Excuse me, one moment. The other thing I've been working on is a blanket. This is the basket weave blanket from Yarnspirations, and the yarn I'm using is Bernat Blanket in North Sea. You can kind of see how that checkerboards. I'm using a size N hook, really easy. I've made, I think this is the 5th one that I've made, maybe the 6th. I don't know. I think it's the 5th. So they're really easy to do. It's a really go-to pattern. The yarn works up really fast. And I bought this when it was on clearance for $5 a ball, which is a pretty good deal. So that confetti that I showed you last week in the Ollie's Has Yarn for $4.99 video is probably what I'm going to be using for another basket weave blanket pretty soon. The other thing that I purchased this week in order to make a blanket is the Caron Anniversary Cake. They were on sale, I think, for $28, and that seemed a reasonable price to me, so I decided to buy one just to have one. This is what the colors look like, and this is Blue Hues. So it's got some blue and purple and some dark blue in it. I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4 different colors in it. So maybe 5 different colors. Sorry, 5 different colors. There's 2 purples and 2 blues and 3 blues. And it has an easy start tab. It's right here. So you can start it from the inside and that'll be good. The other thing that I bought this week is how to do, I had an idea of how to do an advent calendar on the cheap. If you watched last year, I did this same thing last year with different kinds of this package of yarn. Last year what I bought were bonbons by Lion Brand that were a thin sparkly yarn, and I used those in combination with some chunky yarns to make hats. And this year I did something a little bit different. I bought bonbons. That's the name of them. This is how they come packaged. They come packaged 8 to a pack. So I bought, usually advent calendars are 24 days. You start December 1st and then go till the 24th. So I bought different packages. That one was the pastels. Pastels right here. This one is brights. And this one is called crayons. So I got 24 of these little bonbons, and this is a number 3 lightweight DK kind of yarn. So I'm going to use these in a project. I'm just going to pull out, I probably am going to make this a rainbow project. I'm thinking a scarf maybe, because I want something easy. But these colors will go in a rainbow and it'll look really cool. Either a scarf or a hat, I'm not quite sure which. So if you have any ideas for bonbons, I know there's some patterns on Lion Brand's website. I'm maybe an infinity cowl, that might be the way to go. And that's a pretty cheap way to do an advent calendar. I paid less than $15 because I had a coupon for 25% off from Joann's. So I think I paid $4.75 or something like that for each of these. Maybe $4.80, but it was definitely less than $15. So the other idea I had for if you want to do an advent calendar on the cheap and you have a lot of hand-dyed sock yarn, some people do, and they're not quite sure what to do with it, and it sits in their stash for a million years, and say it's the time of year when you don't have money to buy a $120 advent calendar or even a $50 advent calendar, but you have all this yarn that you bought. What you can do is take your yarn winder and wind up a 20-yard or a 30-yard little hank of sock yarn, and you can create your own minis, either a mini little ball, or you could hand wind them, or you could hank them up, whatever you prefer, and take each one and put it in a little bag, and don't label them 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 through 24 until after you've bagged them all. And then you could just write your number on them, so they're randomly mixed. You're not knowing what you're going to get. You could do this if you have sock yarn that you want to make some cute little vanilla socks out of, with stripes, and you could make crazy socks. You could go through and try and pick yarn that you think goes together. Like it might be one maker's yarn that you especially have that you really love, but you haven't made socks out of yet, and you want to make some really cool, interesting socks. You could take a solid and stripe it with your crazy stripes and make some striped socks that way. And that would not cost you any more than you've already laid out for the yarn. And you get some really cool little socks out of it, or you can make a sock head hat out of it. You would only need 50 grams to do that. And you could get some crazy stripes. The sock head hat is a free fingering weight striped hat. If you have yarn that you haven't used, but you maybe want to make hats for charity or something, usually you can knock out a hat in an evening if you are using crochet or knitting. If it's a chunky weight, you could take some of those skeins of yarn and pull those out and maybe use some of these bonbons with it. You don't necessarily have to buy these. Or if you have some really cute sparkly yarn in your stash, you could take those out and use it. I'm trying to give you some ideas here because I know money is tight this time of year and not everybody has the money to spend on advent calendars. But you might want to do something a little fun for yourself and not feel guilty about spending money on yarn. I hope that everybody has a great week And again, if you like what you see and you want to see more of it, please subscribe below. Also, give me a thumbs up. That'll help the algorithm to let YouTube know that you like this type of content. And I hope that everyone has a great week, and please craft something it's good for your mental health. Bye bye.